So a ball is thrown at 20 meter per second at an elevation of 30 degree, and we need to find its speed after half second. At what angle is it traveling at this time, we need to find. And then one more thing, which is when the ball is moving at 20 degree. So initial the velocity at which it is thrown is 20 meter per second, and the angle is alpha is 30 degree. Now the horizontal component will always remain the same, which is u cos alpha, that's 17.32 meter per second, and the vertical component initially is u sine alpha. So when we want to find the velocity after half seconds, we need to find what is the velocity vertical component of the velocity after half second, and then we can find the total velocity. So the vertical component of the velocity will be, let's say, vv will be u sine alpha minus gt. So that is 20 sine 30 degree minus 9.8 times half, that is 5.1 meter per second. So that's the vertical component of the velocity. So the total velocity after half second will be, if we call it v, that will be the vertical component, which is vv, we can say, square plus horizontal component, which is vh. So this is the same as the initial one, which because it doesn't change, and when we find it, it will be 18.06, the total meter per second. So that's the velocity after half seconds. Now we need to find what is the angle uh, it it makes with the horizontal. So what is the angle that it makes? So the angle, if we call it tan theta, it will be the vertical component of the velocity divided by the horizontal component of the velocity. So that will be 17.32, 5.1 divided by 17.32, of course tan of that. So theta will be 16.4 degree. So the angle is less now. It slowly will become 0 finally when it hits the highest hits the highest height. So this is decreasing at this point. So when the ball is moving at 20 degree to the horizontal, so initially it was 30 degree, then after half second it's 16.4, so 20 degree it will be before that. But we can find using, again, we know the angle is 20 degrees, so we can find the vertical component from, again, this equation, tan theta, that will be vertical component of the velocity and divided by horizontal component of the velocity. So that's tan 20 degree. Vertical component we don't know, that we need to find what is the vertical component when the angle is 20 degree. Horizontal component is always the same, 17.32. This was in the beginning and this stays the same. So from here we get the vertical component to be 6.30 meter per second. So that's the vertical component. Question is when the angle is 20 degree. So theta was 20 degree. I should use theta prime probably, because I used theta previously when I was using this vertical velocity. Anyway, so here this is the new theta prime is 20 degree and the new vertical velocity is 6.30. Now we need to find when it is the vertical velocity is that. So that will be, again, this is the new vertical velocity, this is the initial vertical velocity, which is we can say v sine alpha or u sine alpha. V, u doesn't matter, we can use any of them. I think I have initially used u here, we can say v, because the alpha is the thing that keeps changing. Alpha means the angle. It was alpha here initially, but then it keeps changing, so angle is changing basically. So yeah, we need to be careful when we are using the equations. So anyway, here it will be 6.30 and the initial vertical velocity is, again, 20 times, so that's 20 times sine 30 degree sine 30 degree, that's the initial one, minus gt. So that's 6.30, and this is 10 here, minus 9.8 times t. T is what we want to find here. So we get 0.377 seconds. So after 0.377 seconds, the angle becomes 20 degree. So if we think of the flight, it looks maybe like this. So initially the angle was 30 degree. This looks more than 30 degree though. So this is not accurate in terms of so this one is somewhere here, this is 20 bit less, and then it was probably 60. Nothing is accurate basically. I'm just trying to draw. So somewhere here the angle will be 0. So initially it was something, and the angle is slowly decreasing. It becomes 0 at the highest, and then it starts decreasing. Again, it follows the same pattern here when it's coming down basically.